Heyo, I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another action figure review. In this episode, we're taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Origins line. This is Many Faces. This is wave 3, I guess? Is that right? Wave 3 of the Masters of the Universe Classics line? Not Classics, sorry, Origins line. My brain is all muddled up today. But whose brain is more muddled up? Many Faces. That's right. He's got 3 different faces and 3 different brains, and they all act a little bit different. So, who can blame a guy from being a little bit on the wonky side? Anyways, this does come on a standard Masters of the Universe Origins card back here. A very nice throwback to the original vintage line. We've got the new for 20 sticker at the top, or not sticker, it's just a whatever. Modern posing retro play, Mattel stamp. We got a cool comic in there, and Many Faces. From my understanding, you have 3 different variants of this particular carded figure. And if y'all know better than I do, leave a comment down below, let me know. But my understanding is there is the monster face version, there's the robot face version, and then there's the human face version that all you could potentially find out in the wild. So I don't know which one's rarer or not. All the ones I've ever seen have been the monster face, so you know, that's just the ones I've seen in stores, which was again very limited, but I did see them in stores. I picked this one up in store. Which kind of explains why the card's bent up a little bit, corner creases, and we got some crazy bends up here. It is unpunched, so that is a nice thing, but still it didn't fare all that well. So, flipping it over to the back here, we got this cool Many Faces promo image. Can y'all see that pretty well? Very cool though. It kind of shows how he goes about doing cool stuff. We do get the kind of the action features, which is basically just you rotate his head to turn him from human to robot to monster. Some of the other figures in the line, Many Faces, which we are looking at now, obviously. Orko, which we actually previously did, so check out that video if you haven't seen it. Trapjaw and Scareglow are the ones that we haven't got to yet, but we'll get to at least Trapjaw before too long. Skeletor and He-Man, you can see the previous videos for those as well if you're interested. I still have to track down Scareglow. He's the one that I never could find, but anyways, released in 2020. Let's go ahead and dive into this guy and see what he's all about. So I'm just ripping this thing open. So the original figure from the vintage line was a pretty big staple in my arsenal back when I was a wee lad. Pop that out, and then our card is thrown to the side. So yeah, I really like the Many Faces figure in the vintage line. We do have armbands and leg bands here, which we're going to cut off real quick. So I was glad to see the re-release here in the vintage, the Origins line. We've got his accessory kit kind of taped in here, so that's kind of cool. We'll throw this away, grab these little rubber bands off his arms and around his legs, and that all gets tossed away. Before I do that, I'll just note, I haven't seen this before, but on the packaging here, there's a couple of these little tabs that are bent inward. I don't know what that's for. If you have any idea, leave a comment down below and let me know. I haven't seen that before, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but that seems new to me. So anyways, let's see. Let's go ahead and pull his accessory thing apart here. That's not working very well, so I'm going to cut it. I'm going to attempt to cut it. And then we'll see what we got here. Space gun. There is his accessory, a cool looking space gun in orange. So yeah, whatever. Let's zoom in. I'm all over the place today. Sorry about that, folks. So yeah, I really enjoyed the original vintage line figure. It was a cool figure. It got a lot of play value with me in my youth. So, very excited to see this particular figure in the Origins line. We do have a cool comic book that comes with the figure here. This is the same as we got with Orko. This is Double Trouble. Nice artwork. The other characters on the back here. If you want a full look at the comic, you're welcome to pause it right here. We're just going to flip through it here. It does feature Trapjaw and Scareglow and Man-E-Faces to a certain extent, and Orko, along with He-Man and Skeletor and folks like that. So, though not a whole lot of Man-E-Faces, to be honest with you, which is surprising, because you would think that they would highlight the characters coming out, but whatever. Moving on, we have the accessory. Man-E-Face's blaster pistol. This thing is an awesome looking weapon here. I've always kind of been impressed with this particular space ray gun kind of thing. It's got a unique design. It's kind of a big, oversized weapon, but it still looks cool. I may actually want to try to make this into a life-size prop at some point. So I'll let you know if that actually happens at some point. But that's a cool design. It's got just enough detail to make it interesting. It does come on this kind of really bright orange, almost neon orange color. I don't know if that shows up through the camera that way or not, but it is a very bright orange color. I want to say the original ones came like with a red color, and maybe there were some that were included in a couple of the different weapons packs that were different colors, and maybe there was an orange one in there. I honestly don't remember. I think I had a red one with me, but that may not have been the original one that came with it. Who knows? But that's really the only accessory we get. But we get cool action features in this one, so let's go ahead and jump in here and look at the figure. Picking him up, he feels a little weird, but that's because his body is mostly hollow because of the action feature, I'm sure. But it feels just a little different than the other figures. Not that big a deal, I don't think, but just something to be aware of. Just looking at it in general, there's a little bit of color rub stuff happening here. So the paint on the arms is not the greatest in the world. You can kind of see the blue peeking through a little bit. You got some color rub over here and some of the purple on his belt. It ain't quite where it needs to be, or is rubbing off, or didn't apply well. Same thing on his thigh guard things here. Just looks a little bit off to me. So the head thing is also, oh, okay. I was going to say it was not lined up straight, but that's because it moves, and I did not realize that. So that's pretty awesome. On the original one, that didn't move at all, so that's pretty cool. Looking at the rest of the details here, see if we can zoom in here. It's got a cool helmet here. Lots of detail on that. Well, some detail on that. His cool little chest piece thing. I like the little things, doodads on his waist piece. And some cool looking things on his like robotic legs. They look pretty awesome. His little Sergeant Stripes. I don't know what those are. But cool little things here all the way around. So this guy looked very much like a knight, so to speak. And I think that might have been one of the things that attracted me to it in my youth, was the fact that it kind of looked more like, you know, traditional knight armor. And I like that. So let's look at articulation. As we figured out just a moment ago, the head does spin all the way around. That is very awesome. It does not move forward or backwards or anything like that. But we have the special feature mechanism here. This little dial on the top of his head spins to new faces. So here is the human head, which looks pretty decent. Again, I see some weird color stuff going on, but I'm not going to worry about it. We shift again, and we've got the cool robot head. That one looks pretty good. A little weird paint stuff going on. And then we shift again, and we have the monster. I will note that they do have these like spacers in between. I don't remember those from the vintage line, so I think those are new. So that's interesting. That's a nicer transition than going from the face to the other face. So I like that. As a hero, he traditionally has the human face, so we're going to keep it on that for right now. Looking at the rest of the articulation here, I'm going to line this up. Sorry, it's bugging me a little bit. Standard ball and swivel at the shoulder joint there. He has that same weird kind of rotating in arm ball joint thing, which isn't that big a deal, but it's weird to me. Ball and swivel at the elbow joint works pretty well. It's I know, a little bit odd. I may have to just line it up correctly, but it doesn't quite articulate all the way in or out. It's almost like it's just there. So let's try this arm. That one seems to work much better. So that may just be a weird part. I don't know, that's odd. So let me know if you've seen anything like that in any ones that y'all have, or if that's just something weird with this particular version. Anyways, moving on, we do have the swivel and the rocker at the wrist, which is very cool. I like that. We have the standard twist at the waist. Very nice. Standard plastic T-hook things at the hips. So then let's rotate him. Kick all the way forward. Kicks all the way back, and you can... Actually, it doesn't go back all that much, but shifting his joint around, you can get him to go a little bit further than that. Ball and swivel at the... What is that? That's the knee joint. He doesn't have those weird knee joints like we've seen on most of the rest of those guys, so that is cool. I like that a lot better. I guess that's probably because he has this knee guard built into his boot. That makes sense, but we do have the twist at the mid-calf, but you'll note that it kind of gets caught. Actually, it only gets caught going one direction. If you go the other direction, it'll go the full 360, but if you turn it this way, it gets caught right there for some reason. This little nub thing here is a soft plastic, so you can kind of push it past there and it goes fine. So, but just to be aware. Then we do have the standard swivel rocker ankle joint thing here. We also get a cool little peg hole in the bottom of his foot. So, yeah, I'm actually pretty impressed with this guy here. A few weird inconsistencies. Let's grab his weapon. Put it in his hand, see how he looks there. And come on. There we go. The weapon itself is kind of that really soft plastic, so it moves around a little bit. So you may have a little bit of trouble getting it in his hand, but once you get it there, he's good to go. You're not going to lose the grip on it or anything like that. So very cool looking. His arm doesn't straighten 100%, so that's a little odd as well. So you can't do like a full up to the arm fire kind of thing, but still is not bad. He looks cool though. I'm pretty impressed with it. The color on this thing, it's kind of a yellowish orange color for the skin tone, I guess you could say. And it's not quite skin tone, so I'm curious. So any of y'all out there will still watch it. In your minds, was this his flesh or was this part of his costume? So when I was young, I interpreted this as still part of his costume, like the blue bits. So not bare flesh, if that makes sense. So in my mind, this is still just part of his overall costume. Cloth or whatever it is. It's his suit, kind of like Man-at-Arms in his green suit. For me, Man-Y-Faces, this was his suit. So I'm just curious what y'all thought about that, or if y'all were smarter than I was when I was little. And I don't know, I still like that concept anyways. I'm also curious, which heads did y'all usually keep this thing on? So for me, I used him as a bad guy a lot. So he ended up staying with the monster face a lot in my playtimes. The space robot thing never really did much for me in that case. But it's nice to have kind of like a battle armor version. So that is kind of what I see with the robot version, is his helmet battle armor. And then you got the regular human face. So there we go. That's Man-Y-Faces. I don't know. Drop some comments down below. Let me know what y'all were thinking or are thinking. I'm digging this guy though. He's pretty cool. Well, that's all the time we've got for today, so thanks for stopping by. Feel free to drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think of Man-Y-Faces from the Origins line. I'm pretty well digging this figure here. He's cool. But, I don't know, drop some comments, let me know what you think. How does he compare with some of the other versions of Man-Y-Faces? How does he fit in with the rest of the series? And is he your favorite so far? I don't think he's my favorite, but he's actually a lot better than I was expecting to. I like him a lot more than I thought I was going to anyways. But anyways, drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. If you want to, give us a thumbs down. That's not cool, but you're free to do what you want to. So there you go. Like, share, subscribe. Let everybody know what's going on. If you'd like to see anything special in future episodes, let me know that in the comments section as well. If you haven't already, feel free to check out some of our previous videos. We've got some of the earlier versions of this Masters of the Universe Origins line. You can go check those out if you missed any of them. And yeah, till next time.